This is the story of the three little frogs and the colorful, fierce bird, written by Mrs. Gronnert. Once upon a time, there lived three little frogs. The frogs loved living in the pond and swimming in the water. One day their mother told them, "My dear little frogs, you are not tadpoles anymore. You are big frogs, and it's time for you to find a home of your own in the pond." Now, the first little frog especially loved to sit on the lily pads in the pond. She decided that lily pads would make a beautiful house. So she built her house out of lily pads, and it was beautiful. She was very happy with her house and went inside to rest. The second little frog loved hiding in the reeds and grass in the pond. He knew that grass and reeds would make an amazing house. So he built his house of grass and reeds and went inside to rest. The third little frog knew that he would need to build a house strong enough to protect him from the predators of the pond who liked to eat frogs for lunch. He knew that rocks would build the strongest and safest house, so he built his house of rocks and went inside to rest. Now, as those sweet little frogs were building their houses, a big, colorful, fierce bird was watching from afar. The bird thought that the best thing to eat was juicy frogs for lunch. She had an idea. She flew down to the house of the first frog and knocked on the door. She said, "Little froggy, let me enter." "No, you won't enter, not even in the cold of winter," responded the first frog. "Then I'll pick and I'll peck, and your house I will wreck," said the colorful bird. So she picked and she pecked until she wrecked the beautiful lily pad house, and as she was just about to pick and peck the little frog to pieces, the frog jumped as far as she could and swam all the way to her bigger brother's house. Brother, hurry, help! A big colorful bird just came to my house and she pecked it all to pieces. Then she tried to eat me, but I swam away as fast as I could." Don't worry, sister. My house is made of grass and weeds, and it makes a great hiding place. The bird will not find us here. Now, birds, they are pond predators. They have very good eyesight and can see frogs easily. So the hungry bird flew up to a tree and watched. She saw the first little frog enter her brother's grass house. She flew to the door and said, little froggies, let me enter." "No, you won't enter, not even in the cold of winter," responded the first and second frogs. "Then I'll pick and I'll peck, and your house I will wreck," said the colorful bird. So she picked and she pecked and she pecked and she picked until she wrecked the amazing reed and grass house. And just as she turned to pick and peck the two little frogs to pieces, they jumped away as fast as they could and went to their bigger brother's house. When they got to their brother's house, they yelled, "Brother, hurry, help! A big colorful bird just came to my house and pecked it all to pieces. Then she tried to eat us, but we swam away as fast as we could." Don't worry, brother and sister. My house is made of strong rocks. I would just love to see the bird try to peck it to pieces. Now, of course, that bird had flown to a tall tree to watch, and she watched the frogs swim to their brother's house. She saw the frogs go inside. By this time, the bird was very hungry and was ready to eat all 3 frogs in one bite. She flew to the door and she said, little froggies, let me enter." "No, you won't enter, not even in the cold of winter," responded all 3 frogs. "Then I'll pick and I'll peck, and your house I will whack," said the colorful bird. So she picked, and she pecked, and she pecked, and she picked, and she pecked, and she picked, and she picked, and she picked, and she picked, and she picked. And she could not wreck the rock house. Oh no! The rock house wrecked the bird. Ow! Ow! It wrecked her beak into a squished, smashed, flattened beak. Oh! 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 So the bird flew away from the frog's house, never to bother the frogs again. She had to live the rest of her life eating only small insects with her squished, smashed, flat beak. She never bothered those frogs again, and the 3 little froggies lived happily ever after in the strong rock house. The end.